Yeah.
Because already so much was said, and so many amazing points, and thank you to the previous speakers. I want to kind of add to Amin's conversation and shift back the perspective to the kind of oppression that students here in New York have been facing, because I feel that students in New York, Harvard, UCLA have maybe faced like the most or some of the most brutal reactions from administration, and then also brutalization from police as well. My university, the new school, the encampment was up for 12 days. And I feel that it was maybe the longest uninterrupted at that point encampments that was propped up. And of course, just like every other administration, within the first day, we had all like received threat of suspension, because that's the way that the university wanted to kind of like silence our movement. But we were also pleasantly surprised with the amount of support, the outpour of community that came through for us in the following days. What is extremely ironic about my university is that it was built on the principles of social justice. It was actually built as a home for scholars who were escaping the Holocaust. And it actually says in its bio, or on its socials, that it welcomes dissent. And on the sides of the buildings, it says, the names of classes that it's offered, like sociology of fascism, or history of capitalism and social justice. And so it's ironic that a university that was built on these morals and these principles supposedly has had a complete devaluing of its ethics, and has shifted onto something completely different, and has also become completely immersed with just the goal of being involved in capital, and actually not uplifting any of the progressive theories that it teaches its students. And something that we keep trying to reiterate to our university is that what you teach us in our classes is not just theory. This is real life, and this is happening now. And I find that the policies that the universities across the states have been trying to uphold, like somebody said something earlier about grass death or posters, it's just you know com- I can't even find the word. It's just a joke. It's just absolutely a joke that we're talking about posters when people's limbs are being ripped from part apart, and white phosphorus is being used against children, and the ground invasion has now started. And I will say, to the type of oppression that we faced, it was a little bit different in that we felt that negotiations with our administrators were going well enough to where, if there was threat of police presence on campus, we would have known ahead of time. The new school actually received partial disclosure within 5 days of our encampment. And we had alumni and other students and faculty say that this is something that they've been trying to achieve for years, and they haven't been able to. So it shows that these kind of actions are kind of necessary after time and time again of being silenced or pushed to the side, is the only way that we would be able to achieve our goals. And so, we stand by that, and we stand by these collective encampments that are popping up against the country, despite whatever narrative is being created about them. Following that, after we learned what companies the new school was invested in, and many of those being fossil fuel companies, which the new school had claimed to have divested from in 2015, we learned that we actually could not trust this administration, or anything that it presents to the public, because it's just as complicit as every other school across this country. I was one of 43 students that was arrested on Friday morning, and this was once again done without any written warning. And we're actually asleep. And this was done completely under the authority of the university president, and it was not something that was discussed at length with other administrators. And it came as a complete shock and surprise to the community. And after that, the school was on lockdown for about 2 days. And I have to agree with one of the speakers from before that, what we could have faced could have been much worse in terms of brutalization, and then also in terms of what people in the West Bank face when they are arrested in the middle of the night like that. But it was traumatizing nonetheless, and we are a little bit disoriented now. But something that I found so beautiful is that the community and the group of students that we've been able to kind of create group with, has not wanted to stop working for this cause, has not wanted to stop centering Gaza. It shows that whatever tactics that they throw at us, whatever ways that they try to break us up and break up our unity, it's not going to be possible because our goals in this, and then also our morality in this, is something that's like unshaken, unbendable, unbroken. You can never take away the truth from people once they know it. They will forever know it. And it's for that reason that I'm actually in awe, and I'm inspired by the passion of these young people who are on the front lines of this movement. And actually, when it came to getting arrested, another professor had given an example similar to this. Students stood together arm in arm, and it was unlike anything that I've ever seen before. And I actually believe that at this point, our administrations, they fear the power that the students hold. They fear how we will continue to stick together. And despite any of the tactics that they try to use to silence us, to oppress us, to get other community members to turn on us, if we have each other, if we have the goal of Palestine in mind, there's nothing that can move us from this cause. I want to just add one more point to what Amin was saying. It's really important that students continue to essentially express to their administrators, faculty, peers, what their goals are in this, so that the narrative doesn't get muddled by all this like right-wing, like extremist narratives that are going around about why students are doing this. Obviously, if they ever see anything Arab or Muslim or Palestinian in the mix, they're going to label it everything under the sun, especially in New York post 9/11. There's still so much like racism and xenophobia that the Arab and Muslim community faces. And so people are not used to such a diverse population basically standing up for a Middle Eastern country. And so with that is what I'll say for now. And I just want to thank the other speakers again, and thank you, Al Jazeera, for hosting this. And I look forward to seeing our encampments win and win divestment. So thank you.